I know America quite well because I used to work with their space people, because building instruments for observing the Earth from space. I had some great friends in America, and NASA helped us a great deal over here with many of the scientific things I was doing in my early scientific life. It's a great country. It has lots of go. It has lots of drive, and by and large, it's not very interested in the environment. And Christians in particular have not taken on board, don't easily take on board an environmental message in America, because they believe the Earth is there to be used and to be used for the benefit of Americans. And the green groups, of course, tend to be perhaps New Agey. They don't have the same sort of beliefs about God. They seem to be worshipping nature, which Christians don't think is a proper thing to do. And so Christians have distanced themselves from that. There's also been a further problem in America, which has been that there has been some very strong environmental legislation in the 70s and 80s, which tended to hurt American business. And that was not very sensible from the environmental point of view, to make over-strong regulation, preventing businesses from doing their work properly in ways that were not necessary. So that didn't help the environmental lobby in the United States, because they found themselves running up against business interests very strongly. They were being prevented from doing what they needed to do. But things are changing in America now, because the Americans are beginning to realize that there is a problem. There is a problem with the environment and a problem with the rest of the world, and how climate change is going to affect particularly the poorer nations of the world. And Christians, or some Christians over there in particular, and I've been privileged to work with some of them, have realized that creation is there and given us as a gift from God. And we have to thank him for creation, and we have to look after creation, and we have to be good stewards of creation, and we have to be good stewards of the resources of creation and the way they're used, and we haven't got to overuse them in ways that hurt the poorer people in the world. So that's come over as quite a strong message, this message of stewardship of creation, to quite a lot of people on the evangelical, the right, the politically right part of the American Christian public. And that's been very good. But it's taking a lot of time to move them and to turn them around and to make them realize how serious the situation is. And one of the reasons for that is the great misinformation campaign, which has been pushed in the United States for 15 years now, particularly by vested interests who've hired top lawyers to try to persuade all their politicians that this was all being overplayed by scientists for whatever reason. And they tried very hard to destroy me, for instance, in the Intergovernmental Panel and my work, in ways that were really not very helpful. Well, not helpful. They were really rather awful. Nevertheless, I think in a way they made us more honest by the way they behaved, and by their opposition made us as scientists absolutely clear that we had to tell the truth, absolutely, without in any way exaggerating it, on the whole, being conservative in what we said.